Three ways that you can build credibility with your customers fast when you're just starting out in business. So, how do you build credibility and trust with your audience, even if you're fairly new to your business and maybe you haven't got much experience yet? The problem is when you're feeling a bit new, when you are new or a bit more inexperienced, this can create feelings of like imposter syndrome, and that self doubt comes into play. And the problem is when that happens, you then don't show up as confidently and show the real you because you've got these doubts inside, let alone actually being confident to promote your products and services. So, what can you do that's going to help make more connection with your audience and build trust and credibility quickly so that you can get that sort of from the beginning of your journey without needing to be a complete expert in everything that you do? So inside of this episode, I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can build credibility fast to help you shorten that time frame to build trust with your audience. How to have a simple plan of action from the beginning of your business journey that feels authentic to you and allows you to be the real you. And the number one thing that you can do as quickly as you can that's going to help bust out any of that imposter syndrome that you might have. So that's what I'm going to be talking about on today's episode of the Brilliantly You Business Show. Welcome. So happy to have you here. In case we're meeting for the first time, my name is Jenny Stevens, and I help coach and train online business owners to help you attract your perfect customers to you, help you utilize social media strategies and systems and automation so you've actually got leverage with your time, so you're not chained to your computer and chained to your business, and help you have the mindset to be the best version of you to help you go through this entrepreneurial journey that comes with it. So this episode, we're talking about credibility. A few weeks ago, I asked a question in my stories about, I was planning out the content for the month and I wanted to see what some of you wanted to hear about. I wanted to know, what are some of those things that you're struggling with right now? What are some of the things that you could really do with me to cover, provide any training, and just help you out? And this came up, and I thought this was actually a really good topic because this is something that comes up a lot, especially in those early days. If you're just starting to build your business, or maybe you might be pivoting and, making a bit of a different direction in your business and maybe who you're talking to or what you're doing, which happens, doesn't it? We evolve in our business and we pivot and change and transition as we go through this journey. So I'm going to give you three ways that you can build credibility fast with your audience and potential customers, okay? So the first way to build credibility with your customers is to always be authentic and real. One of the greatest things that I learned was take them on the journey with you and wherever you are in your journey. So I don't know if you can relate to this as well, but don't pretend to be something that you're not. You don't have to pretend to have more success, to be further along than what you might be. You don't have to pretend to be anybody that you're not. And this is a common mistake that can be made. And I made it too. In the early days, I was looking at other people that I was following and looking up to, mentors, and thinking, I want to be like them. And I was almost trying to embody some of their traits and stuff, but it wasn't being fully authentic to me. So one of the biggest things that I can recommend is the more authentic and real to you that you are, the better. And actually, when you are more authentic and you maybe take people on the journey with you, it's going to be more authentic and real to them. And that's going to build more trust with your audience. People want real. They don't want the faff and the BS. They want real. They want human beings. They want to see a normal person. They don't want perfection. So one little tip for you, if you're kind of thinking, but I am new or I'm just getting started, like how can I How can I set myself as this kind of credible person, even if you're just getting new? So something you can say to people, and I used to do this quite a lot in the earlier days, and I still do a little bit now, not quite so much, but certainly in, several years ago, was I rephrased my kind of like my introduction, like, so if you're doing videos or anything like that and you kind of do your little, hi, I'm, Jenny and I help so and so do this, your little tagline. Something that you can do is word it and phrase it in a way. So I've got a couple of examples for you. So one could be something like, I'm learning so much right now, and I'd love to invite you on the journey of discovery with me. Or another could be, I'm going to be sharing more tips and strategies as I learn more myself and test out myself. So you know that I'm going on this journey with you, and I'd love for you to join me along the ride. So what this does is you're being honest and authentic about, hey, I'm not here. I'm where I am, and I want to take you on the journey. So like I say, it gets rid of a lot of that bullshit. It gets rid of a lot of that, that just fluff and fakeness and stuff. And it helped people to appreciate that real you. And people really like to be able to access people easier. So sometimes if you look at these huge kind of stars, if you like, gurus that you might follow, sometimes they feel like they're not very accessible, or they might not be so approachable, or sometimes you don't even know if you do message someone, is it actually them that replies, or is it an assistant, So a lot of the time, people actually like someone who isn't 100 steps ahead, but someone who is just a few steps ahead of them, because they're more approachable and they're more accessible. So actually, it can be a benefit, it can be a perk to be newer in the journey than feeling like you've got to be a 6-7 figure earner and all this, I've got this award and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter. People want you, and they want the realness. Okay. So just be authentic and real from the beginning. I say it took me quite a long time to realize that, and it's so much easier. So, save yourself some hassle and really just kind of sit with you. So hopefully those little phrases might just help you if you want to kind of see, well, how can I actually say that in a way that's going to connect and share that reality? All right. So the second thing then, in terms of how can you build credibility fast with your customers, is value, value, value. You can never give too much value. When people are feeling like they're getting something helpful and useful for their life in some way, or they're enjoying it, maybe entertainment or whatever, they're getting value. And so when you always focus on kind of serving others, providing value to others, you can't go wrong. And so this is where creating some content, looking at what your content strategy is going to be for your online presence, talking about popular topics that your target market are dealing with, they're asking for, doing these topics that they need help with. Like every now and then, I ask my audience, what would you like me to train on? What topics would you like to see? What do you need? I can guess, and I can, I know my audience pretty well, but I still like to put it out to people to say, hey, am I missing something? What would you love to see right now? So you can ask your people as well. And so when you create content that is going to be relatable to them, it's what they're like dealing with right now, then that's always going to win. And when you do this as well, you do instantly, when you're covering topics with what they know, they feel like, oh my God, this person could be talking about me right now. How did they know I needed this today? Like, have you ever watched a video or seen a post or something? It's like, oh my God, it's like they read my mind today. That's a good marketer, a good content creator. And you can be that too. Even if you're in the beginning stages, you can be that too, because you need to understand and know who your people are and what they need help with. And so when you cover these topics, you're going to be seen as that authority. You're going to be seen as someone who knows what they're talking about, even if you're just learning something yourself. I will be, I'll sort of share if I've just learned something new, but I can still provide it in a way where I'm like, hey, I just learned this cool tip about Instagram, or I just learned this new thing, or I just read this book that kind of had a different perspective. And I will share if I've just learned something and I'm sharing it with you. And that's what you can do too. The beauty and the main thing to focus on is that you're going to share it in your way. That's what makes you unique. It's really easy to compare ourselves to other people and go, well, that person knows so much more, or that person's better at explaining this than me, and that person's more confident, and blah, blah, blah. But nobody can explain things in your way than you can. Nobody can give the insight or point of view than you can. No one is going to be able to do your style in your way compared to you. And that's the thing to really focus on, is remember and embrace you. That's why the show is called Brilliantly You, because it is about you being awesome exactly as you are. Show people how awesome you are and how brilliant you are. Share it in your style, your personality. Let your personality shine in your content. And people are going to connect to you for you with your style. You and I could teach the exact same topics. Some people might hate me, or they may really not like my style. That's totally fine. But we could give us the same kind of message, and you do it in your way and I do it in mine, and we have completely different reactions or completely different audiences, because people are going to love you for you. And that's what attraction marketing is all about. So try and get any comparing thoughts out of your mind. And the other thing I want to add to this as well is, remember that it is a transaction. When you give value, you are having some kind of transaction. You're giving something. And maybe if it's kind of free content, like Facebook Lives or videos or just written posts, whatever you like to do, it's a transaction of time, because someone's going to either watch your video, listen to your podcast, read your post, whatever. But as you grow, and as you grow in confidence, you've got to make sure that you are remembering to ask for a monetary transaction too. If they want more of the good stuff, like if you share a little piece, and it's like, if you want to learn more about this strategy, or if you want for me to, like if you're a service kind of business, it's like, if you want me to take this off your plate, you haven't got to worry about how to do all this stuff, I can do it for you, then let's chat. So don't sell yourself short. So often we get caught in this, just giving free. And I did this for such a long time. But at the end of the day, you're running a business. And so often we feel awkward and weird and about actually asking for the sale, right? And I used to be like that too, if I was having conversations, or if I was in Messenger or whatever, and sometimes it would just feel a bit awkward to actually ask for the sale. The good news though is that, this does take confidence, and you're going to love the upcoming episode with a good friend of mine. So make sure you are subscribed and you're following to make sure that you get notified when one of these next episodes drops, because you're going to love it if you want help with your sales conversations. But I have done work on the belief in myself. I've done a lot of the inner work to grow my confidence and really feel more confident in me, being me, and my money mindset, and lots of things like that. And I've got no problems now in asking for payment for my time or my expertise. But so often I was giving so much stuff away for free, and it was like, hold on a second, I think I'm sort of slightly shortchanging myself, and I'm not, why am I not making the money that I want to make? So hold some boundaries for yourself, and you can still give an immense amount of value without giving all away for nothing and not being paid for your time and for your expertise. All right. Comments don't pay the bills. I love that. And it's so true. You could get lots of engagement and stuff, but at the end of the day, comments and vanity metrics don't pay the bills. So you've got to make sure that you do ask for the sale when it's appropriate. So then the third way to build credibility fast with your customers is to share results and proof, social proof, as quickly as possible. The best way to sell anything is social proof. The words and voices of other people. People love to see proof that something's going to work. So what you can do from the very beginning, so this is something that you can start doing straight away, or you can kind of go backwards and look at what you've got. But anytime you get any comments, like nice comments about you, your style, your work, anything from people, you want to capture it. Ask for feedback from your work. Again, if it's free or if it's paid, create opportunities where you can gather feedback from people and share it. You can share your own personal results and stories. So I talked last week about stories. And if maybe if you're new and you haven't worked with anyone yet, or you haven't got any great testimonials yet, that's totally fine. You can be your product of your own product. A lot of the time, in this industry, we are the product of our product. We've done the work. We've found the product that we're now promoting as an affiliate, or we've gone through the course, or whatever it is. So share your own personal results if you haven't got anybody else's yet. People love to see results, and it's great to share your own as well as other people's. Toot your own horn, if it's for your own results, no one else is going to do it for you. So share what other people are saying about you. It doesn't make you like self-centered and anything like that. Again, you're just sharing other people's opinions and feedback on what they have found from being around you or from working for you. So if you see any comments or anything like that, or if you're asking for feedback, take screenshots. You can even create little graphics in Canva if you want to, and share them regularly, especially if you are doing some kind of launch or a promotion for your offers. Share it, share what other people are saying. And I recommend as well, like keeping it in a really handy, easy to find folder so that you can find them easily. So if you want to share anything, so create a folder for testimonials or whatever you want to do, so you've got that really easily. So social proof is the most powerful way to sell yourself and your products and services. Get sharing and enjoy it. And the more that you share, again, the more credible you're going to be, because people can see, oh, this is working, or, oh, people are saying that, Jenny's style is great, or, fill in for your name, whoever's style is really nice, or they really enjoyed the way that you did this, or your way of teaching, or like whatever it is. Whenever I'm promoting anything new, like when I was promoting my recent program, my Leverage Business Blueprint, it was the first time that I'm running it. And so I didn't have any specific testimonies from that program because it was new. So I took other feedback and testimonials from other things that I've done and people had shared, because it was about working with me and my kind of teaching style and stuff like that. So I was still able to use things in a different way. And that's exactly what you can do too. So, again, but the more you share, the more it's going to boost your confidence when you do make that offer and you do ask for the sale. And again, most of all, I just want to reiterate, just be yourself. Some of the things, like I mentioned, do take work and pushing through your comfort level. And sometimes you might need to kind of look at if you are coming up some real resistance and doing some inner work, maybe. Say, I've had to do that on various things, and it's hugely, hugely transformed my confidence to be truly me, to like all the things I've mentioned in this episode, asking for the sale, being completely authentic to me, embracing my weirdness and geekiness and my swearing and all that kind of stuff. And it's helping me be a better marketer, a better business owner, a better coach, a better wife, like fill in the blank, all the things. And so I always, just encourage people to be curious about their mind and how it's working and how it's helping, and also how it may be hindering sometimes, because, especially running a business, it can be hard. We do come across and come up against so many resistance points and so many doubts and limiting beliefs and stuff. And when you can work through it, honestly, it's so transformational on the other side of it. So when you do all this, you're going to become more attractive um, as a someone who can grow credibility. You're going to be more attractive for someone who to be following and to pay attention and listen and watch, consume your content. And it's going to build up that trust more. And it's the trust that helps people then make that actual step to joining your email list, getting your freebie, buying your course, using your service, whatever it is that you do. So I want to just kind of help. I want to give you a resource today. So if you do these things, I think it's massively going to help you. Just remind yourself of them all the time and keep being consistent. The more you keep showing up, the more you keep working on it, the more you keep sharing your stories, the more you keep sharing any of the, feedback and testimonials, it's going to become much easier. But if you do want a bit more help with how to actually attract more people to you and actually get more sales and get more people onto your email list and utilizing and leveraging your time a bit more, if you kind of really want to then ramp things up a bit more, then I've got a great free video series that I'd like to give you today. So I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes. And it's just going to help walk you through a really great structure and process for how to actually tangibly get more leads and prospects coming to you, build your email list, how to leverage your time more, and how you can give value and then get a shit ton of people seeing your stuff, because that's what you want. We want people to see your awesomeness and see your content and see your stuff so that you can grow your business. So go and check out that free video series, and I hope you enjoy it. And so if you've got any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat, pop them in any comments section. So yeah, what does credibility mean to you? Is there something else that maybe you do that's working for you and you want to share? Always love hearing additional insights from people that might be able to help everyone else who's kind of listening or watching in to this episode. So this is just really going to help you, and again, as long as you remember to be yourself, you can't ever go wrong. Being authentic and just continue to share content that your audience are going to love. And that's going to build authority, credibility, and trust. And then that's where people then take those next steps with you. They can see that, you're learning and you're knowing the stuff and you're sharing things in your way that's unique to you. So go and try it out. Let me know how it goes. I hope you found value from this episode. Do share the love if you think anybody else might find this useful. And don't forget to grab that free video series, that free resource for you. It will be in the show notes of this episode, but you can also go along to jennystevenscoaching.com/DYS. And you can get yourself signed up and you can go through that. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing weekend. The next episode is going to be freaking awesome for you. I'm away next week, so I've got an amazing episode lined up to go out same time, same day, while I'm on my little bizcation, and you are going to love it. It is an absolute beast of a training. I've got a good friend of mine. It's all going to be talking about selling with conversations. So again, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following, you got all your notifications on so you get notified of that. And yeah, if you kind of sign up for that free video series, you'll be on my email list as well. So I give first dibs of everything to people on my email list. So I know you're going to love it. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me today. So appreciate you. Lots of love, and I'll be back next week for another episode. But I'll be live again in 2 weeks. So I will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.